All right, you know what? I'm just continuing off of the last one because I love to talk, and I gotta make sure to delete all these videos from my camera roll at some point so they're not taking up the entirety of my battery. After I upload them to YouTube, of course. Oh yeah, so to my lovely followers. I don't know. I feel like I should make a better way to distribute these videos rather than sending it in 0 to 1 group chats and sometimes posting them on Tumblr. Anyway, yeah, I feel like I used to have really bad voice dysphoria. And you know how people talk about, like, when, people talk about hearing their voice on a recording and getting uncomfortable. Well, I had that too, so I didn't ever question it. And I thought everyone just could not stand to hear a recording of their voice in any capacity. I do remember one... Hello, ambulance. I do remember one recording of me performing a song with some friends. Me and a violinist and a drummer. And yeah, there was one song from like 2018 or 19, I think 18. I did Bruce Springsteen song. Is it Dancing in the Dark? Yeah, Dancing in the Dark at a Pell show. And I guess, however I did my voice, it was the one recording for years where I could actually stand to listen to it and liked it. And I feel like I should rediscover it and be like, did I accidentally learn feminizing voice modulation when I sang this song? Because I feel like it did sound good. Because people would tell me I had a good singing voice for years, but I could not stand to hear it. And I thought that was normal. But then turns out it's not. Turns out people get uncomfortable at the surprise of how different their voice is. They can't not stand it at all. But then I feel like in listening to little bits of voice recordings recently, I feel like I don't have that anymore. And like, yeah, often I'm like not wild about how my voice sounds, but like it was fine. Sorry, I just got in the zone on the intersection. I didn't trail off at a loss for words. I was just wondering what this person was doing, because I had a green light, but they'd kind of on the side, they'd inched up further than I expected, but it was all fine because driving is lovely. I think I'm a freak for how much I enjoy driving. It's just so nice, especially in this city that people hate the driving in. I think it's great. I think it's a great city. I think driving is great. I don't conceptually support car-centric infrastructure, but I just love to drive. Ooh, now I'm remembering a collage name tag someone made for one of the trucks at the island, where the picture was some sort of ape, maybe a gorilla, maybe a chimpanzee. Okay, they have their blinker on, but they're not going down this street. I'm next to a little street that surely no one is gonna go on, but I also don't want to block the box for it. Oh yeah, but it had I'm gonna say it looked vaguely hopeful. I feel like don't put too much stock into the specifics of its emotions. It was just a collage, but it said, and it was maybe some cutouts that had a little bit of it Sharpied out. So I forget what the full statement was, but the version it ended up as was, I don't get from point A to point B. I just love to drive, as like a 3 statements. I don't travel. I don't get from point A to point B. I just love to drive. Something like that. But yeah, I don't get from point A to point B. I just love to drive. And I really do just love to drive. Yeah, so voice dysphoria. You know, if you have dysphoria at something about yourself, maybe it's a sign that you're transgender. But if you think that everyone else also hates that about yourself, you might not realize that it's dysphoria or that you're transgender. But I am, and I feel like I no longer get that major aversion to listening to bits of my voice. Which, for sure, at least part of that is the bits of feminization I've done to it. I don't think I've done the greatest job in history. I don't think my voice passes in any sort of way, but that's not the goal, right? And where was I going with this? Yes, it all does link back to the music, because I feel like something that has been, I don't know how I'm gonna phrase this, because I feel like it's a two sides thing of, I feel like singing country music somehow works out well with my voice feminization. Like listening to, there was a period where I was listening to Goodbye Earl before work, like on the way to work, because it did some good things for my voice control. And which led to listening to more of the Chicks, and also trying to feminize my voice for like Tyler Childers songs, other like country stuff like that. And I feel like that ended up being good practice. Other side of it being, I feel like sometimes I'll like get into a really good rhythm of it, not in actual like rhythm sense, but like get into the swing of it. I'll start doing a voice that I am happy with, in terms of like, let me try to remember the book, like laryngeal larynx modulation, something like that. But I'll like get a tone that I'm pretty happy with, but then on top of that, I'll just be speaking in a bit of a southern accent, which is surprising because I'm from the South, but I lived close to DC. I don't think anyone in my area had southern accents. Someone's shouting. And then I moved to the South. I moved to actual South. Lived there for 5 years during college. Well, during college era. I went to college there for 3 years. I started to fail my classes and dropped out and lived there for another 2 years. I loved it there. Beautiful town of Boone. In beautiful state of North Carolina. God, it is so beautiful down there. I'm thinking of the open skies in like, not all the way western North Carolina where Boone is, but like when you're around like Raleigh, Durham area and going west, there's some beautiful open skies around there that I'm thinking of on bright sunny days with not like huge clouds, maybe huge clouds, but not like clouds blotting out the sun, and not like big threatening looking storm clouds. But I feel like anytime I was in that area, it was just sunny and gorgeous clouds all around, like very well defined. Maybe cumulus, maybe some subset of cumulus. And just gorgeous. Where was I going? Yeah, so I lived in the real South, and I'm gonna say the fake South. But I never like could do a Southern accent I was very satisfied with. And maybe for a bit after moving out, I would sometimes, I won't say get drunk and like lost my ability to.
Someone shouting?
I won't say I like got drunk and fell into a Southern accent, or like got drunk and disorderly and like was doing some offensive Southern accent. But I like, well drunk, was trying out a Southern accent sometimes. Not in a like deceitful way, but I don't know, I think Southern accents are so beautiful. And like, I did live in the South, and I'm from almost the South. But then, yeah, the only time I've like had an unintentional Southern accent is when the voice feminization is going well. And I'm like, where did that come from? And also, I don't mind that. I don't really do accents. Okay, the lights are on, but the stop is not on this school bus. I'm gonna switch into this lane. I love talking. Oh yeah, but I feel like my ability to sing kind of feminine, and tends to work well with the country and folk country songs I've been getting into. And I don't know, maybe what this damn city needs is a T-girl fronted folk country band starring me. And I think that could be fun. And I play guitar and I sing, and by golly, I do them both at the same time sometimes. Well, I say sometimes. That is an ability I have. That is not something I do in an executive function sense. I like for years have wanted to play my guitar more, and will pick it up literally months apart. And maybe someday that'll change, and maybe the attempt at creating the roommate band is going to be